Hello and welcome back to another video on this topic on May the 13th of 2020, the year of our Lord. And this video is about the HEROES Act and what is sponsored by Nancy Pelosi and the House Congressional Democrats. Today, look, they come out with these details about this new $3 trillion stimulus. And look, first of all, it's not supposed to stimulate the economy. It's supposed to relieve workers that have been laid off over this epidemic. Now, with unemployment at about 20%, I don't see the real reason as to why maybe we shouldn't be open to new stimuli. So, as a reasonable person, let's look into what they can bring up. We know the House is narrowly, somewhat, majority Democratic, and we do think that there has to be compromise for there to be a new bill. And guess what? Mitch McConnell will block anything that is too unreasonable. So let's see what Nancy Pelosi has in store for us. So what we have here. There will be a $200 billion HEROES Fund, which is a hazard pay. So it'll increase an average of $13 on workers that are nurses and so forth. So you're going to give them extra money that we don't have, so that they can feel special. Because, remember, anything that is on a bill basically is from the credit card. We are at $1 trillion deficit annually, and that's without the crisis. We have spent $2 trillion, $3 trillion on the epidemic so far, and not only that, but when we take a look at the debt clock, we're looking at an increasing debt because we are falling in revenue. So as of right this moment, we have a $25 trillion debt. Our deficit right now is $2.6 trillion. Our spending is at $6.1 trillion. And our tax revenue is slowly being eviscerated from the 3.55 margin to about anything. Hundreds of dollars. We're losing a minute. And really simply so. We cannot be spending that much without a very good reason. Where are we getting this money from? We're getting it from China. We're getting it from the printer. Money printer go brrr. And guess what? With inflation, everything else gets more useless progressively. So let's see how this goes. Forgiveness of student loan debt. So you're supposed to provide up to $10,000 in debt relief to be paid in monthly installments by the Treasury Department until September of 2021. So, there you go. Trump froze interest rates on student loans. That's enough. Why do you need to forgive 10 grand? People aren't losing anything from student loans if Trump already paused them. What more do you want? Funding for tracing and treatments. So that's $75 billion towards corona testing and free treatments. I think that's true. That's valid, but $75 billion, that sounds too high of a number, honestly. And also, it says all Americans could receive free funding on that. Who are Americans? Is that citizens? Is that residents? Is that illegals? Is that undocumented people? Workers that come here from Mexico, from Canada? Who knows? That should be specified. Well, it's an 1,800-page, book, basically, encyclopedia of the Democrats that they just put out in this bill. How the hell am I supposed to read that? It's been out for how long? A day? I don't know. I'm reading off bullet points here. There will be $50 million in assistance to farmers. Are you kidding me? $50 million? That is not a pissant of anything, really, in regards to the farmers. But you're giving so many to the student loan people. I think the farmers are taking it up harder than those student loan people that have their payments paused. We have a protection for renters and homeowners from evictions and foreclosures, which is another $100 billion. And on top of that, another $75 billion for the states, territories, and tribes and whatever to help with their mortgage payments. Like, are you kidding me? Because look, there's going to be a direct payment. This payment is about to be $1,200 or up to $6,000 per household. Are you kidding me? And then there's a couple things in here too. Assistance to the Postal Service. $25 billion in assistance to them because they're expecting to lose all their money by September. And to that I say, well, it's because they're doing these expensive deliveries to Barrow, Alaska, or they're going to go to Sarah Palin's side house and deliver stuff, at a loss, because on the principle of giving everybody packages. Into that I say, Well, like Trump said, we're only going to give you money on the condition that Postmaster General raises the prices on places like Amazon and other big store restaurants and all these other places that do a lot of packaging that are paying disproportionately less than the common Main Street consumer on these packages. Of course, there should be a higher premium on Amazon, who's not even taxed fairly to begin with, and that will help with the solvency of the Postal Service by taking money from Amazon and not the taxpayer. Then we have the election security, $3.6 billion in grants, so that you could do all these election things. Well, last time I checked, our election should be completely fine. There should be not another dime put into that. And remember, the last time they did that big ol' stimulus, they gave thousands of dollars and millions of dollars to their donors and two specific places that benefit the Democrats. This is the problem with the pork and the money. $3.6 billion in election security. What the hell does that mean? Half of it's probably going to go to the DNC somehow in some indirect way. Again, there's a tax relief program within this. And what is it? Well, is it going to cut income taxes for the middle class? No. It is removing the cap on state and local income tax deductions. Well, what are those for? Well, it's supposed to say I get taxed a lot from California or New York. I get taxed a lot there, so write off some of my federal tax. Well, that means that the guy in Oklahoma who pays next to no taxes in local and state, but pays all the federal, has to cover the slack for the person in California who pays very low federal and takes it up the ass in terms of California taxes, for example, property taxes, etc. So who needs the cap? The cap is several $1,000s to the point where it's only really rich people that would benefit. Well, who are the really rich people in California and New York City? It is the Democratic donors, of course. Well, where do you go from there? It means that they're giving a tax write-off to in the orders of millions and billions of dollars to the millionaires and billionaires and the top 1/10 of 1%, as Bernie would say. I think that's completely corrupt. And then there's also some, they're going to give subsidies, and they're going to give basically, they're going to have a commission on how cannabis businesses owned by minorities and women are going. Like, what the hell is that? What is that? Tell me, what is that? You're going to spend I've heard that cannabis is written in the bill 65 times. Why are we talking about weed in this video? Really, it's tainting it. But not only that, but why are we spending a scintilla of a dime on minority businesses over white businesses or anybody's business? Why are we distinguishing by race? So, of course, when you want the white vote, maybe try not to subsidize minorities or, I don't know, use money off a debit card that we don't have. Again, our deficit's going to be like, what, $10 trillion this year? I don't even know, but it's going to be a complete crapshoot. And you know what? It is a lot, mainly the fault of the Democrats and the Congress, that they're just completely ruining our economy. But not only that, but Gavin Newsom wants to talk about giving $25 million of taxpayer money to illegal immigrants. Who cares? They can rot. Who cares in this instance? Sure, okay, fine. Make them get tested for corona and then send them back. Why are we spending a scintilla of a dime? We are in debt. The localities are in debt. De Blasio is several $billion in the hole. Cuomo is $6 billion in the hole. Newsom is probably going to get in the hole unless he raises taxes. So what I'm saying here is, where are we going to get this money? Also, there's rumors of an amnesty snuck into this. So that when they say, what we're going to provide to Americans, I bet they're basically meaning anybody that's within the landmass of America, not even the citizens so much as the illegals. So, like I said, this is not popular, and if you come out as a Republican and say, those Democrats are using your money to give to illegal immigrants versus you, and they're running up the deficit because they're trying to provide for illegal immigrants that invaded our country and broke their laws to get into the country, then I think they have a winning argument, and they have a good slogan that I haven't thought of yet, but that could really prove effective. Now, guys, this is my coverage over this terrible HEROES Act, and look at how they name these bills. Very, very, very disingenuous, very facetious naming here. Terrible, sad, but anyways, guys, what do you think of this bill? Do you think it'll pass? I think Mitch McConnell will block it in the Senate. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Comment down below if you agree. Anyways, bye.